You know, the problem with talent is that sometimes we rely on it way too much. Hey everybody, it's Ed the Trainer, and that is what we'll talk about next on this week's Super Bowl 2017 edition of Tips on Tuesday. So here we go again, a couple of years removed from a similar topic we discussed from Tom Brady's last Super Bowl win. And I know that amongst our audience are a lot of Tom Brady haters and a lot of Tom Brady fans. But one thing is for sure, that a lot of times the opinions about Tom have been a little bit misguided over the years. The point I'm trying to make here is, again, that everybody looks at Tom Brady as this very accomplished professional quarterback, now with 5 Super Bowl wins. But one of the things that struck me after the game, after everything had kind of settled down, as they were going through interviews with most of Tom Brady's teammates and some coaches and some former players that had played with Tom Brady, was this common theme, the common thread in the descriptions about him. And what they said, all of them, was that Tom Brady was the hardest working guy on the entire team. That Tom Brady was there the earliest, he stayed the latest. There was no one on that team that worked harder than Tom. There was no one on that team that was more convinced or convincing that the Patriots could come back from a 28-3 deficit. And they all looked to Tom for that leadership. You see, the thing is that talent is obviously there, but if you know Tom's story, we told this story a couple of years ago, if you know Tom's story, nobody thought he would ever make it in the league. He was a 6th-round draft pick that everybody thought would be a bust. They never thought he'd have a career, let alone be considered, I'm going to say it, the greatest quarterback of all time. Nobody ever thought that he would rise to those heights. And the thing is, again, from a skill standpoint, from a physical standpoint, he didn't have those capabilities when he came into the league. Many would argue he still doesn't, right? He's not the best guy to move around in the pocket. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the world, but what he has is a work ethic. And here's the thing. It's easy to look at someone that is that accomplished and say, I could never be that, right? Or I could never get there. But Tom, for years, since he first came in the league, was focused on the process, the day-to-day, every day, and has stayed totally focused and committed to the results that he knew that he could achieve. And therefore, he's brought along everyone on his team with him with that same belief. You see, we can't look at our lives and the goals that we set to achieve or the things that we'd like to see around us in our relationships and hope in a snap that we're going to have everything that we've ever wanted. We've got to stay committed to the process day after day after day in small chunks and believe that consistency, patience, and hard work will lead us to where we need to be. The problem is, most of us aren't patient enough. Most of us, if we work for a day as hard as we've ever worked, when we don't see the results right away, we say, well, what's it worth? I worked really hard, but I've got nothing from it in a day, 2 days, a week. What if we committed to a long term, the long game, and understood that consistency, building those successful habits would lead us to some of the results that people now can't deny in a Tom Brady. You can't deny it, can you? I mean, you really can't. I know there's a lot of you out there that don't care for him at all, and I get it because he's beaten your team so many times. But you have to step back and give the man his due, don't you? What if you worked that hard? What if you were as dedicated? What if you were the hardest worker in the room in your company? What do you think you could achieve if you did that for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? And didn't seek results right now, right today, but you understood that it would bear fruit somewhere down the road. Where do you think you could be if you were the hardest worker on your team? Thanks for joining me, everybody. I hope you have a great week. I really, really appreciate you spending some time with me. I'll see you soon.